You think you're eating healthy, but the food industry has been lying to you for decades. And today I'm going to show you exactly how sugar is hiding in places you'd never expect, quietly wrecking your gains, your energy, and your mindset. So stay till the end because number 3 on this list is probably sitting in your fridge right now. Let's start with the basics. Sugar isn't just that white stuff you put in your coffee. It's hiding under nearly 60 different names on nutrition labels. Dextrose, maltose, rice syrup, cane juice, agave nectar. Companies do this on purpose so that no single ingredient shows up too high on the list, which means your healthy granola bar, your salad dressing, even your protein bar can be loaded with more sugar than a candy bar. And you'd never know unless you actually flip it over and read the label like a detective. Now here's where the science gets interesting. When you eat sugar, especially in these hidden, sneaky doses throughout the day, your body releases insulin to shuttle that glucose into your cells. But if this happens constantly, your cells start becoming resistant to insulin, which means your body has to pump out even more of it just to do the same job. And over time, this doesn't just lead to fat storage around your midsection. It directly interferes with muscle protein synthesis. Meaning, even if you're crushing your workouts and hitting your protein goals, hidden sugar could be silently capping your gains. But here's the part almost nobody talks about: the psychology behind why we crave this stuff in the first place. Sugar triggers a dopamine release in your brain almost identical to what happens with addictive substances. And food companies know this. They've engineered products to hit what scientists call the bliss point, that exact combination of sugar, fat, and salt that makes your brain scream for more, which is why you can eat an entire bag of chips without even feeling full. Your brain isn't responding to hunger anymore. It's responding to a reward loop. And this is exactly why willpower alone rarely works long-term. Because you're not fighting a lack of discipline, you're fighting actual neurochemistry. Think about your last cheat meal. Did you feel truly satisfied? Or did you feel this weird emptiness afterward? Almost like you needed more. That's not you being weak. That's your dopamine receptors literally becoming desensitized from repeated sugar spikes. The same way tolerance builds with anything else your brain gets used to. And this is why so many people feel trapped in this cycle of restriction and binge, blaming themselves when really it's a biological loop that needs to be broken with strategy, not shame. So let's get practical. First, start reading labels not just for sugar, but for every alias I mentioned earlier. Because if sugar shows up in the first 3 ingredients under any of its 60 names, that product is not what it's pretending to be. Second, prioritize protein and fiber at every meal, because these 2 macronutrients slow down glucose absorption and keep your dopamine and insulin response stable instead of spiking and crashing, which is exactly what causes those brutal 3 p.m. cravings that destroy your discipline later in the day. Third, stop trying to quit sugar cold turkey, because that almost always backfires. Instead, gradually reduce your intake while replacing it with whole foods that still taste satisfying, like berries or Greek yogurt, so your brain slowly recalibrates its reward threshold instead of rebelling against total deprivation. And here's a bodybuilding specific tip. Pay attention to your healthy post-workout products, because a lot of recovery drinks and flavored proteins are loaded with hidden sugars marketed as natural energy, when in reality, they're spiking your insulin in a way that has nothing to do with actual recovery and everything to do with taste marketing. The bigger picture here is this. Physique transformation isn't only about training harder or eating less. It's about understanding the invisible forces working against you, both the industry that profits from your confusion and the psychology wired into your own brain. And once you see both of these clearly, you stop blaming yourself for lack of willpower and start making decisions based on actual awareness, which is a completely different game. So here's your action step for today. Go check 3 products in your kitchen right now, read the ingredient list, and count how many hidden sugar names you find. Then drop that number in the comments, because I guarantee it's higher than you think. And if this video opened your eyes even a little, hit subscribe, because next week I'm breaking down the exact meal timing strategy that keeps your insulin sensitive while you're building muscle. And trust me, you don't want to miss that one.